Drop frames? Hello? Any drop frames? Question mark? Anyone? Any drop frames, please, for the love of God? Oh my God. It's happening again. I genuinely don't get it. I don't understand why we're dropping frames. I don't understand. Okay, this one's a bit stable, but we don't know if that's the truth yet. Let's see. Keep waving until a drop frame stops. I'm gonna start doing stuff and see if drop frames still dropping frames. This is fucking outrageous, man. I don't even know. I don't even fucking. Are we dropping shit? Okay, we're not dropping now. Why? Why? Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a mistake. Tell me why. I never want to hear you say I want it that way. Okay? Fucking hell. What the fuck, dude? I don't get it. This is so stupid. This is so fucking stupid. Okay, just drop a few more. You know, fuck it. I don't care. Okay, never mind. It keeps dropping now. Why? What is going on? What the fuck is going on? Okay, I have a React content now. Suddenly it keeps dropping frames again. Why? Why? Please, for the love of God, tell me why. This is stupid. This is so dumb. This is so dumb. I don't get it, dude. I really don't. Why am I dropping frames? Why? I want to do something tonight, but now I can't. I just can't. Because it's just dropping frames. I don't know what's causing this. It has to be YouTube. It has to be. So I genuinely can't think of what else they can possibly ruin this. You have 1,000 fucking drop frames. And it keeps going. I have to make the conscious effort of whether I stream with it or not. Because I sure as hell don't think I can. I'm gonna check, wait, I'm just gonna play something until. Is it still dropping? I can't tell. It says it's still dropping. Wave at the camera. Woo. This is so upsetting, man. I miss. I play that fucking riff poorly, alright? Let's try that like properly. Oh, I'm still dropping frames. Again, I don't know why. I'm still dropping. I don't know if I can continue. I really don't. I want to, but like. I don't know if I could. I'm trying to see like what's like hogging the what is taking up like the internet power here, but nothing. Nothing is. I just can't think of whatever that is, you know? It's just like it's stupid. I generally can't fucking continue. They're just gonna keep lagging like this. I don't know what to do. Like, do I go for it or do I don't? It's just so upsetting, man. I was really good. Like, I don't want to learn off fucking screen too, because like, that's the whole point. Is to like share it to people that I am fucking doing this. I guess just have to fucking deal with it. I just have to deal with the dropping frames. Like I don't know what else is gonna fucking fix it. Cause nothing is going to fix it. I'm just gonna I was gonna have to. I'm just gonna have to like let the frames drops, you know, let the frame hiccup sometime. So I really want to do. I really want to go through this. I'm just gonna not care. I'm just gonna fuck it, right? I was gonna learn. So yeah. Sorry for the scuff, but like, who cares? I'm watching this for myself anyways, so fuck you. Haha. Ha. I got him. I got him.
Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today I want to talk about why I think you should make your own chord book rather than buying one. Now, little story for you. One day when I was teaching at the Guitar Institute, we're all sitting around the staff room, and one of the teachers came in and said, "Hey man, I'm doing this book for a big publishing company. I'm 20 chords short. Who's got some wacky chords that we can pop in there?" And we all sat around trying to figure out fun ways of playing basic chords for I can't remember what the book was called, like 1,001 chords for guitar or something like that, or 100 chords you must know, or I don't know.
Okay.
They all have those kind of titles, right? The chords that you need to know are the ones that you need for songs that you're going to play. If you're not into jazz, you do not need to learn how to play G13 flat 9. You just don't. So
You
rather than
just
trying to
don't.
have hundreds of chords that you learn that you're never going to use, I would recommend making your own chord book and writing in the chord grips the way that you're going to play for the songs that you like playing.
Honestly, true.
It'll also help you remember the chord shapes. Okay, doing it yourself and writing it down will help you create a visual representation of that chord in your mind. Further down the line, we might want to add to your chord book and make a note of what the notes are in the different chords. Particularly if you're going to study the theory side of stuff as well, you can start to make some really strong connections between what the notes are in the chord, where they're found on the neck, how to manipulate chords to change them into other chords. The function of the notes will also become apparent at that kind of point as well. That's not something for beginners. That's a little bit further down the way. On the website, you're going to find some blank chord box paper that you can easily print out. If you're over on the website already, it'll be in the Downloads tab. You just print it out and make your own chords. If you happen to like it a bit neater, there's some wonderful software that I use for my own stuff, which is called Neck Diagrams. Okay, if you just look up Neck Diagrams 2 software, they've got up to version 2 now. Amazing software, and the guy who developed the software is also named Justin. He was a student of mine at the Guitar Institute. Hi Justin, if you happen to be watching this. So if you prefer having like nicely typed up stuff, then you could do it your own using software, but handwritten is plenty good enough for this stage in your career. One little tip that I'd like to share is the idea of printing out 7 pages of chords and then having 1 page for your A chords, 1 page for your B chords, 1 page for your C chords, and you'd put like your A minor, A7, A7 sus4, all of your different A type chords on the A page. Just means finding them a little easier than having a kind of a jumbled approach.
Makes sense.
Later on, you're going to want ones for A sharp and B flat and C sharp and D flat and that sort of stuff, but definitely in the beginner's course, we're not going near any of those chords just yet. Big thanks to Sean, old student there, who I think was the first student I saw who printed it out that way, and it totally made sense. I feel like I should have thought of that myself, and I used to recommend this idea. But, just having 7 pieces of paper with your chords on there helps you remember the chord shapes. Having all of the A chords together will start helping you see the relationships between the different chords. As I said, if you get into music theory, particularly on my theory course, we learn about manipulating one chord to turn it into another one. Much easier than trying to remember thousands of different chord shapes. Thousands of different chord shapes. I don't think you're going to end up ever learning thousands of different chord shapes, really. You're going to learn like maybe 100. Probably less, but then you're going to learn how to manipulate them. It's a much stronger approach. I'm waffling too much now. Just print out some blank chord box paper, make your own chord book. It's a really good idea.
Let's see. What's here? Blank chord box paper. So a few of these, I think. Oh, it's straight download, I think. Oh, never mind, there they are. Damn, look at that. 3x5, 3x5. Oh, okay. 5x2. It's the biggest one. 5x4, 6x4. That's the biggest one. Yeah, damn. I got this thing as well. Just neat. I can try it free. Nice. Nice. Not just guitars. Damn, we got the oud. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty useful. Oh, insert more music theory. Yeah, that makes sense. We can just write them down, right, in a physical book, I guess. The Mickey Baker Jazz book. Yeah, I'll figure that one out somehow in my own time, I guess. So yeah, let's just continue then.
Stand you a good stead. It'll help you remember the chords. I don't need to do any more of that. It's not in your practice routine. Just do it. Make your chord book. See you for more very soon. Bye-bye.
Alright, let's go. C major scale. The one that everyone looks for. Let's go.
Hey, how you doing? Justin back with you. Now we're going to check out the C major scale in open position. Now there are a whole bunch of reasons that we're learning the C major scale. It's a great fun thing to improvise with. So learning about how chords and scales fit together, which we're going to talk a little bit about later, means that you can improvise, make up your own melodies, make up your own solos with the major scale. It's a lot of fun. It's also great as an exercise to work on practicing picking individual strings and for the dexterity of your fingers to move them around to sit on individual frets and be able to play individual lines, which you need if you want to play riffs, ornaments, when you add things to chords later on as well. There's loads of reasons why practicing scales is a good thing. It's kind of got a bit of a bad rap, I think, because some people imagine practicing scales for hours and hours at a time. I don't think you should, let practicing scales become an all-consuming thing, but it should be part of your practice routine because of its many benefits for both hands and the synchronization between the hands and loads of other stuff. So let's get in and check out how to play C major scale in the open position. So we're going to start C major scale on the note C. This is a really important part of practicing scales, is starting and ending on the root note of the scale, the note name of the scale. And this is the note C here on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Now the fret number and the finger number happen to be the same, so all notes in the 1st fret will be the 1st finger, all notes in the 2nd fret will be played with the 2nd finger, all notes in the 3rd fret will be played with the 3rd finger. We're not using little finger for this exercise. So starting 3rd finger, 3rd fret, 5th string. Use down picks throughout for this exercise. Then we're going to play open 4th string. Okay, 4th string, no fingers on it, that's open. 2nd finger, 2nd fret. 3rd finger, 3rd fret.
Okay, I didn't know.
Then we're going to play the open G string, the open 3rd string. Second finger, 2nd fret. Then open 2nd string, the B string. 1st finger, 1st fret. 3rd finger, 3rd fret. Open thinnest string. 1st finger, 1st fret. 3rd finger, 3rd fret. Immediately back down, so we're not going to play that note twice. We go back to the 1st finger, 1st fret. Open thinner string. 3rd finger, 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Then the 1st finger. Then open. 2nd fret on the 3rd string with the 2nd finger. Then open. Then 3rd finger, 3rd fret, 4th string. 2nd finger. Open. Now third finger, 3rd fret, 5th string, 2nd fret, then open A string, that's the 5th string, 3rd
Yeah,
finger,
sounds kind of clean.
3rd fret of the thicker
Okay.
string. Now 1st finger, 1st fret of the thicker string. Many of you are going to find that a bit of a reach. Then the open string, so we've gone as low as we can now. Back to the 1st finger, 1st fret, 3rd finger, 3rd fret, open A string, 2nd finger, 2nd fret, and then coming back to 3rd finger on the 3rd fret. Let me play that for you one time now, just straight up and down, a little faster so you can get the idea of what you're aiming for.
Yeah, this one's pretty good actually. Practice exercising around. So you just know that you're learning like chord names. Chord names.
A couple of
Note
really
names,
important
too.
things about playing scales that I want to explain to you now. The first one is this idea that practice makes permanent, not perfect. Okay, I'm sure you've all heard practice makes perfect. It doesn't. Practice makes permanent, so practice perfectly. It's really, really important. When
Good
it comes to
advice.
practicing scales, and especially the first few times that you learn them, you want to do them really, really slowly and try and get them right. Because if you build the code correctly in your brain, then you just say to your brain, hey, do that thing I was just doing, but do it faster. And if it's got clear messaging and it knows exactly what fingers are going to go where and how far they have to move, that kind of thing, it's relatively easy to speed things up and keep them accurate. Whereas if your brain's, the coding in your brain is going, put your 2nd finger down, no, lift it up, it's on the wrong string, lift it up, move it over there. If the coding is all jumbled, it's a lot harder to speed it up. You end up with a bit of a mess, and especially if you try and memorize it and you get it wrong, it's really hard to get it right again. It's going to take a lot of effort to be able to get it back into the right place. So the first few times that you practice the scale, you want to do it super slow. Like, look at the page, open 4th string, okay. There's a 2nd finger, 2nd fret, then 3rd finger, 3rd fret, 7th string. You know, I talk to myself rather probably more than I should, but you know, saying it out loud, making sure that you've got exactly the right fingers in the right place, really, really helpful. Another tip that you might find useful is only going up to start off with. So just practicing, speed it up, but you would go slowly, just up, then stop. A lot slower than that, but just going up the scale a few times first. Maybe for the first 3 or 4 days, you're just going to go all of the way up. This is partly to do with the memorization process. Now, for me, when I'm practicing the scales, doing the left-handed stuff, I've got a head start here because I know exactly what the scale looks like. I know where the finger should go. So I'm getting the physical benefits there of trying to pick the right notes and getting the fingers, the dexterity of the fingers working, but the actual memorization of the scale is already done. For many of you, that will be part of the battle, is learning to memorize this new shape, making a map of the scale in your mind, because you definitely need to memorize it. It's not something that wants to be staying on the page. You need to practice it over and over again and build a map of what it looks like in your mind. Great practice can be when you're away from the instrument, being able to close your eyes and picture what the scale shape looks like. See where the dots are, the fact that the pattern on the 5th and 4th strings is the same, that on the G string, on the 3rd string, there's only 2 notes and it involves your 2nd finger, which isn't used in other parts, not on its own. The thinnest 2 strings is using the 1st and the 3rd fingers and not the 2nd finger, the same on the thickest string. You know, so kind of making this little map and seeing where those dots lie as a shape can be really, really helpful. When it comes time to practice the whole thing, you definitely want to be starting on this lowest root note all the way up as far as you can go in that position, in that area of the neck, then down as low as you can go, and then back up to the root note. The reason that this is important is because it's training your ears to hear the sound of the major scale. The major scale is this do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. If it doesn't sound like do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, you've got something wrong. So you kind of, on top of all of the dexterity of both hands and the picking notes individually and all of that, you're actually training your ears to hear the sound of the major scale, which is massively useful as well. When it comes to picking,
really,
it's very likely you're going to struggle a bit to pick the right string.
So I learned like the
You'll probably find,
one,
well, I find like 50% of the time it's okay, and then the other half of the time I'm picking wrong strings. You want to try and do it slowly enough that you do get it right more than 50%. So nearly all of the time you should be getting the right string. But even if by the end of your practice for this lesson you're still getting some picks on the wrong strings, I think that's to be expected. It's going to take probably 6 months or more to be able to get to accurately pick the right string all the time. There are a couple of things that you might like to try to help. One of them is using an anchor, so using your little finger to actually rest on the fretboard while you pick the notes. Now, I find that a little bit cumbersome for me because my little finger is really short, so it makes lots of tension in my hand. It doesn't feel nice. But there's a lot of fantastic guitar pickers that do rest the little finger on the fretboard. I'm not sure it's the best approach because everyone's different and there are lots of different approaches to picking on the guitar, and it seems like lots of the best players do it slightly differently, so I'm reluctant to say that there is a right way or a wrong way. I used to say that you should definitely anchor, I call it an anchor the little finger there, and it is the way that I learned, that I spent most of my life using an anchor. I'm less certain now. As I get a bit older, I'm seeing more players play different ways, and I'm reluctant to say, yeah, you should definitely do it that way. But definitely give it a try and see if it works for you. When I'm learning left-handed, I'm not doing it. I'm having a go at trying to learn without it. But that's not to say that you should also follow that. I'm just having a go at doing it that way because I learned right-handed using the anchor, so I'm just experimenting. You should give it a go or not. No, not or not. You should definitely give it a go and see if it works for you. And if it does work for you, stick with it. If it helps you pick more accurately, stick with it. If you find it creates tension in your hand and you don't like the idea, then you might want to think about ditching that. If you get comfortable enough with the scale that you find that you can play the notes with a consistent rhythm, then you should definitely explore playing it along with a metronome. Maybe around 60 or 80 beats per minute would be a good starting point, and just making sure that you put your down pick on each click. Really work on playing with the click. Don't rush ahead of it, don't pull back behind it, don't anticipate it. Try and get the picking to sit exactly with the metronome if you're going to practice with the metronome, but I wouldn't feel that you have to this lesson. Nitsudge is not doing that. I'm just playing it free. Still battling with the first person situation with Nitsudge, but whatever. He is not doing it. Especially next lesson, we're going to be looking at improvising with it, which is, again, it's quite a free thing. Playing it with the metronome is a good idea for your technique and developing the synchronization of the hands, but maybe not necessary at this stage. You might want to wait until we're doing alternate picking, so down picks and ups, before working with the metronome. It's a little bit down to you, how you feel about your timing and how you feel about playing the scale, how difficult you find it. So there's a little bit of leeway as to how you're going to approach that one. I really hope you enjoy your scale practice. There are a lot of technical benefits for both your picking, dexterity of the fretting hand, and you're definitely going to enjoy improvising with it in the coming weeks.
So now we've learned 2 scales. I said I did 4 here. 2 scales. So far in this journey, we've learned of the E minor pentatonic. I don't know which lesson was that. It was probably like the last one, the 8th. And today we learned a C major scale, which I thought was going to be this one. I mean, it is that one, but on the open note. I mean, on the open string. To the first 3. Or the first 4, really. I didn't know that. And now I know. So, like, it's a matter of finding. Like I say, it's all about the shapes and all. But, like, me personally, the goal is to be able to just find the scales in whatever like setting it is in. So like maybe like, so we know like there's a C major scale here, there on the first 3 here, and I want to find like a C major scale like over here, for example. But I don't know that one yet, so like I can't really show an example. But like, like this 4, for example, and then I can just use that one. Maybe like this 4, for example, then I would go like this. Like the goal, yeah, my end goal for like after every fucking lesson here is to be able to just do that, right? Find the scales, know what to do here and there. See, the thing is, like, with those ones, like, those are, like, very common shapes. You find that over here as well. Right? But I think, like, a good guitar player, like a very good guitar player, will not rely on the shapes so much. They can just find. You can like improvise like, a C major scale, like with this 4, for example, or some shit, right? Like now I can't find the B note. For the C over here. Maybe there isn't a B here, right? I don't know that yet, but like that's the goal, right? Is to know like if I could or not. There is no B here actually. I mean, there is this one. We're skipping a string there, I guess. Yeah, because I mean, there's a C here. There's no B. There's only the B is like this one. And we're just skipping this frame entirely. This string entirely, because like. Because the open string is a B. Well, we could use the open string as a B, right? Isn't it? Wait, this is a G. I'm dumb. That one. But then it's like a whole different thing now. So, see, that's what I mean. It's like trying to find Wait, my camera died. God damn it. What happened? What happened? Did my phone die? What the fuck? Is it because of that? Is that why? Damn it. Man, I was just showing like very cool stuff. Whatever. I just streamed it, didn't I? At least. But yeah, that's that, I guess. Just there. I also like that opens up a little bit now. You know that lesson there. See, like, you know, beginner lesson. I still have something to learn. Let's just go next. What's this? What's this about? 16 those
Hey,
strumming
how you
patterns.
doing, Justin?
Ooh.
Back with you to talk a little bit more about strumming. Specifically, I want to
genting.
expand your horizons a bit
Hey.
from the all-down eighth note strumming that we talked about last week. So very quick refresher. Hopefully you've been working on it anyway. But we started off our most basic strumming back when we were doing the first grade stuff was all eighth notes. So going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then combinations of those. So go 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and or whatever. Any combination where our hand was making 8 movements in the bar. Last week we introduced this idea of doing all down picks, down strums on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we ended up with 8 down movements, but we knew that we had 8 up movements as well. We just weren't playing on them. So having this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and putting the accent on the 2 and the 4 is a really cool thing to do. You didn't have to do it, but that was part of the deal. Now, obviously, in between every down strum, there is an up strum. And the gist of this lesson is I don't want you to be afraid of trying out other patterns so long as you keep your hand moving consistently. So if you're looking at more advanced tunes like the proper strumming in Wonderwall or those kind of things, patterns are fairly complicated. It's not something I'd suggest you go that full on at this point. But I don't want you to be afraid of trying out more advanced strumming patterns. So long as you keep that hand moving, it's going to be okay. A really fun thing to do is to write out your own patterns and just to write out literally 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and write downs above all of them and then choose some places to put some up strums and have a bit of an experiment. So long as you can keep the pattern consistent and you keep your arm moving evenly, that it's not getting jerky or pausing at any point, you should be fine. And you should have some fun and you'll learn a bit in the process. What I thought I'd do in this lesson is just take you through 3 patterns that might be worth giving some practice depending on what songs you decide that you want to play and whether you like it and whether you've got time for it. This week there's quite a lot of stuff going on, so I'm not scheduling practice time for this right away. But it could replace something if you feel you're confident with it sooner. So if you're happy with your F chord cheats earlier than you anticipated, or happy with the F chord earlier than anticipated, if you're one of those lucky, big, strong-handed people, then you might want to replace it with this kind of exercise. So the first one is playing all of the down strums, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but putting an up strum after beat 2 and after beat 4. So you end up with this pattern. 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 1 and 2 E and 3 and 4 E and. Now you want to start that nice and slow like that, but most of the songs that are using that are kind of a little bit faster than that. When it gets a bit faster, you need to relax a little bit more into it. So you'd end up with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
It is awesome.
It's a really, really nice little pattern, that one. It's almost like a little bounce off the backbeat if you're accenting on 2 and 4, having that up afterwards. It almost like kind of echoes it a little bit, and it can be quite a cool little trick to get involved with. Another nice pattern that I think you should experiment with is putting an up strum after the and of 2 and the and of 4. So 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a down, 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 up, down, 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 up. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 Now, I
What's wrong
just
with
added an extra strum. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you accidentally hit another strum in the pattern. It doesn't at all. It's totally, totally fine to add in more or less as many extra strums as you want. You want to try and aim for a consistent pattern, but you do deliberately sometimes want to have a change from that. It's like having a drum fill, just a little variation every now and again, usually every 4 and 8 bars, but it really doesn't matter. As long as you keep that hand moving consistently, everything is going to be fine. Now, a little extension of this pattern is to add an up strum after beat 3 as well. So you end up with this pattern, which I think is a really nice one. It's this 1 and 2 and a 3 E and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 E and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 E and 4 2 and a 3 E and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 E and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 E and 4. What's really important here is that it feels good. You want to practice these patterns over and over again and really work on making it feel nice when you play it. You should feel like dancing. You got to get. That's the point of it. The whole aim of these strumming patterns is to make them feel good. Practicing a bit without a metronome is probably a good idea first of all. Just going for the hand mute without worrying about the chords. As soon as you introduce the chords, there's more to worry about and you'll be less focused on the rhythmic element. So if you're going to practice it, mute up the strings there and just practice the pattern on its own. Some of the counting is going to be new for some of you. We haven't gone into a great deal of detail. It's something that we cover a lot more in the intermediate course. This is 16th note strumming. Basically, in between the number and the and, we add an E and an A. So we have this 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a is the count. Again, I wouldn't worry too much about it because it can get a bit more complicated later on down the line, but we're still in beginner territory here, really. This is just, I want you to be not afraid to add in upstrokes to your simple all downs. That's kind of the point of this lesson. Particularly if strumming is all right for you, because again, we're all going to find this journey a little different. Some people are going to struggle more with the rhythm. Some people are going to struggle more with the chords. It all comes out with practice. So you'll end up being able to do all of those things. You need to work harder on the things that you're struggling with. And if you're still finding the basic 8th note strumming, you don't want to go near this. But if you're cool with the strumming up to this point, you're like, I want a bit more food, this is a great place to explore. I know for myself, with the left-handed journey, the strumming is actually feeling pretty good. I feel like I can have a go at playing like the Wonderwall rhythm. It's pretty ropey and I can't make the chord changes, but you know, it's okay to have a little bit of a go at those sort of things. The important thing, the key thing here is keeping the hand moving consistently, because if you don't keep the hand moving consistently, then you're kind of training yourself to do something that's not right. There are times way later down the journey where you don't keep the hand moving consistently, but at this point, that should be the focus of your attention when you're doing any rhythmic stuff, rhythmic practice, or working on your time, working on making it feel good, is making sure that the hand is moving consistently and you've got that feeling that it's all good. The consistency, the feeling, the kind of the continuous motion of that hand is going to be the thing that really helps you hold your groove on. So there's 3 patterns to have an experiment with. You can add it into your practice routine if you want. If you want to add it in later, or you could do, add it in and do a bit extra practice each day if you wanted to. If you don't feel ready for it, you could leave it for a little bit. You could substitute it for something later on. At your stage, you have to do a little bit of self-assessment and working out what things you really need to work on the most, and you'll tell that by playing songs. When you're playing songs, what are the parts of playing songs that you're struggling with the most. So I really hope you enjoyed that. See you for more very soon.
I know I play Happy Radio all the time. A bit of funny, as you kids might call it, but yeah, now pinky workout. Okay, this is something pretty cool. This is something I probably want. I really want a good pinky, because everyone would talk about like flying pinky and shit like that. I thought having this would be cool. So I mean, pay attention on this one. Without further ado, let's fucking go. I don't care.
Hey, how you doing? Justin here. In this lesson, we're going to have a
Justin.
look at a little pinky exercise, getting your fourth finger a little bit more dexterous than it might be at this point. Reason being, next week we've got a chord that requires a little bit more dexterity with the little finger. It needs to be a little bit stretchier, a little bit more controlled. In the coming weeks, we've got some more chords where it's going to get used and some scale things. You're not going to find that you use little finger a whole lot, but when you do use it, you want to be using it confidently and for it to be, dexterous is the only word. It wants to be able to be controlled, and a lot of people struggle with little finger. So this is a relatively simple little exercise. Again, it's not a big part of your practice routine, but a little bit of practice on this stuff really goes a long way. So let's go to a close-up and I'll run you through the routine. So we're going to start actually with our third finger on the 7th fret of the thicker string. We're going to play that note just with a down pick. And then little finger goes down on the 8th fret. Nice and controlled. You want to be doing this exercise very, very slowly. It's not about speed at this point anyway. Then third finger is going to step over to the 7th fret of the 5th string, then little finger on the 8th fret. Same thing on the next string, on the 4th string. And the 3rd string.
This is a two-finger spider crawl, said it.
And on the thinner string. Notice that the fingers are curling up. I'm not extending my fingers out like that. You don't want to keep your fingers straight. You want to keep your little finger and your third finger nicely curled up. Once you get to the top, you're going to go the reverse of that. So little finger, third finger. Then little finger is going to cross over onto the 2nd string.
Index is flying.
And then to the 3rd finger, little finger onto the 3rd string. Back to the 3rd finger, little finger. 3rd finger.
Index is flying.
Little finger, 3rd finger, little finger, 3rd finger, and then down to
Oh wow,
2nd
I'm
finger,
really feeling that
then
one
little
there.
finger. And now we're going to continue
This is
that
a very
pattern
good one here.
all of the way up toward the thinner string again. So it's going 2nd finger,
Oh no, use the
4th
second
finger.
finger.
all the way up. Play that top note twice, little finger, 2nd finger. Now on the 2nd string, 2nd finger, a little finger, 2nd finger. 3rd string, little finger, 2nd finger. This isn't a scale, it's just an exercise. Then to the 1st finger, to little finger. 1st finger, little finger on the 5th string. Then on the 4th string. 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string. Play the top note twice, 4th finger, 1st finger, 4th, 1st. And then you begin again, 3rd finger, 4th finger. Now, beginning, you're going to find this pretty difficult to move your little finger around accurately. At least Nitsudge did. It was slow and awkward, frustrating even at times, where it just wouldn't seem to go where I wanted. On top of that, you'll have the added
This
problem
too
of
is the
picking the
hardest
right
one.
string as well, which might factor
These
into it.
two is very
This is
easy.
more about the little finger, so don't worry if you accidentally hit an extra string. That's not going to be, it's not the exercise. The exercise
Right.
is about the little finger. So while it's better
That's a
that you
bit more
hit the right
forgiving,
string
actually.
most of the time if you can, if you accidentally hit the wrong string, it's not the end of the world. At the beginning, this should just be really slow and careful, learning to place the little finger. If you can, you could start to speed it up a little bit, but it's not, again, a speed exercise. It's a dexterity and accuracy and being able to move your little finger to where it wants to go. Using it in conjunction with the other fingers will help develop the little finger, to be able to work
It's
independently
really
no matter
fighting.
what other
Yeah,
fingers
look
have
at
been
this.
used in
Go
the
and
course.
fucking
That's kind of the
index.
idea of that. There is no real set rule. It's just, like I said, I want your little fingers to become more active, the pads to get a bit more used, so you're used to actually holding down the string, so it shouldn't hurt so much. But mostly it's about the control. Mostly it's about learning to control your little finger. Try and avoid letting it fly right off the fretboard each time. That's a real common problem. Some people is the little finger, after it's played the note, it wants to kind of go right away. And then every time it's going to try and fly right back or off the fingerboard. You really want to try and keep it so it's not moving too far away from the fretboard at any point.
Damn, okay, if I can get that pretty control like that, then
Now,
it's like...
I've done this sort of exercise before, so for me, doing
I've done
this
it pretty well, yeah.
the right way around, right-handed, is relatively simple. But left-handed, this was a tough exercise. I'm really glad I included it at this point. It's definitely going to help with the next lesson and most of the rest of this grade.
Hell
actually,
yeah.
getting
Ooh,
the
Californication.
dexterity
Let's
in the little finger.
go.
So have a bit of fun with that. Try and do it every practice session if you can.
Playing the fun riff. Now with Dak and... Oh wait, it's Californication, isn't Can't Stop, but whatever. Still pretty good. Never listened to this song, by the way. Shee! Listen to that guy. Who is this guy? Sheesh.
Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are
Let's
checking
go,
out the riff for
Justin.
Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It is a banging tune and perfect for the lesson today. It's got the single note lines, it's got the F chord, it's got the F chord bar chord shape, but you need to use the arch in your first finger even better, which is, I mean, it's just, it delivers on every level for this song. So let's get to a close up and check out how to play it. This is the main riff. It's actually pretty simple when you take the bass part away. The bass part weaves in beautifully. But we're going to start off with this A minor chord, regular old A minor that you play. You might sometimes see me play it without the third finger, but I would recommend that you put the third finger down as well. Okay, that's the way Nitsudge is practicing it. Then you're going to pick out individually the fifth string, the fourth string. Then you're going to lift off first finger, play the second string, and then put first finger back down and play it again. Okay, have a go at that first of all. Make sure you can do that before you even think about doing the next part. It's by far the easiest bit. Now the next section, you need first finger on the first fret of the thicker string, third finger on the third fret of the fifth string, which for many of you is already going to be a bit of a tussle, but that's okay. You're going to play the thicker string, the fifth string, then the open third string. So what you're going to find with the bar, if you've let the bar down too far, it'll mute the third string. So it's forcing you to learn to kind of round that bar. Like I said, when you're playing your F chord, it's going to be round anyway because we don't play those middle strings. It's forcing you a little bit more extreme just to lift up the bar away from the fretboard, just that little bit to get the open G string. And then second finger is going to go down on the second fret of the third string. So it's going to play the open string and then the second finger goes down. That's the hard part of that. This part, relatively easy. That is quite difficult. It's difficult to pick the notes out individually and accurately, but
out of tune. A bit out of tune. There you go. Yeah, this was a lot better.
for me, getting the first finger and the third finger in the right spot and holding the notes down, and then getting that open G string for, you know, Nitsuj is getting all the time, using it, it's just going to lift it up that little bit more, and then controlling the second finger while those two, first and third, stay still to get the third finger, the second finger down on the right place. It's not easy. It's not easy at all, but it is lots of fun. And there's so much benefit to doing this. Picking the notes out individually, getting the first and third finger there ready for your F chord, bar chord F, and your second finger, and the rounding of the thumb, and the controlling of the bar, the height of the bar. It's just got so much good stuff going on. Now, if you want to practice the rest of the song, it's chords that you know pretty much anyway. Some of the rhythms on the original recording are a little bit more complicated. It might be worth practicing the chords occasionally just as a bit of a rest. If you're practicing this for 4 minutes as scheduled, just to do this for 4 minutes could feel a little boring, I guess. So there's another part, a chord part in the verses, which is C for 2 strums, to G, to F, to D minor, and then back to the riff. Sequence again is C. If you want these G dreams, it's G chord, go to D minor.
Oh yeah.
It really is a fantastic riff, this one. If you're a huge Chili Peppers fan, there's no danger of going to check out the more detailed lesson over on the website. I don't recommend trying to do the little It involves a whole heap of things. The twiddles are really difficult, playing 2 notes at once, and it is really a combination of the guitar part and the bass part. It isn't easy. It's relatively easy for me right-handed, but left-handed, every time I've tried it, it's been like beyond difficult. So I would recommend not trying to do that one for now. But I really hope you enjoy playing this all-time classic riff.
Appreciate it. Hell yeah. Well, let's go next. Let's play a bit more. Keep putting my thumb up with the A minor. It's not good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Songs for Module 9. Let's see.
Hey,
See,
how you
F
doing?
chord.
Justin here for a look at the songs that would be great for you to work on for your lesson 9 practice. And yes, I
You
filmed this a little
Coldplay.
later. All this stubble didn't just spring up all of a sudden. I just forgot
Coldplay.
to film this lesson and went, oh, I've got to do that one, and I haven't shaved, so excuse my scruffy appearance. At least I'm wearing the same jumper. Now, the good news is that there are loads and loads of songs that use regular open chords and include the F chord. There may have been a few that you stumbled upon on the way that you've gone, oh, I'd like to learn that song, but it's got an F chord and I can't check it out now. You want to find songs that you really enjoy, so that's really got to be the focus. Try and find some songs that you love that use the F chord or the F major 7 chord and your regular open chords as well that you know already. The more fun the song is for you, the more likely you're going to practice it, the more you'll enjoy working on the F chord. Now, the ones I picked were You Can't Always Get What You Want by the Rolling Stones, just because it's C to F major 7 most of the way through, a little bit of D chord in there as well. House of the Rising Sun, which is a really great one because it's got the D to the F chord in it. It's in 6/8 time, but it's fairly fast tempo, so I've just been, or Nitsa just been doing 2 strums to the bar. It's also a good one because we're going to look at it a little bit further down the way for doing some fingerstyle, so it's a good one to kind of have a little bit of a sneaky look at beforehand. Californication, because we're doing the riff this lesson, you know, learning the rest of the chords for that song might not be a bad idea. It's got plenty of like mini F in that one as well. One by U2 is a nice one if you want to get into using the F major 7. Okay, so that one specifically uses that chord. It uses some sus chords as well, which is something we're going to talk a bit about later in the course. So again, that's one that you might expand on a little bit further on down the way. There really are, there's so many songs that you could find that use like C, F and G, right? It's like almost any of the songs that used A, D and E that we looked at earlier in the course in the beginning of grade 1, you could transform and use C, F and G for as well. So there really are an unbelievably huge amount of songs that you've got to choose from. I will add some more in the lesson, but again, the most important in the text part of the website, that is. You know, try and find the ones that you like. That really is the key thing when you're learning songs. The more you can find the bands that you love and the songs that affect you, the more inspired you're going to be to practice, especially when they've got something tricky in them, like the F chord. So good luck with that. See you for more very soon. Bye-bye.
We should pay more attention. Wait, it's a song suggestion. Yeah, makes sense. Chords and keys.
Hey, how you
Hey,
doing? Justin here.
just
For a little
about-
bit of music theory, we're going to talk a bit about chords in the key, what that means, but a real simplified version. If you want to get much more into this, I'd recommend that you go and check out my music theory course, because stepping up to it is a lot easier than kind of jumping in. Now, the basic idea when we're talking about chords in the key is that all of the notes in the chords all come from the notes of one scale, one major scale usually. Let's talk about major scales. There are minor scales and other kind of approaches to this, but for now you can say you look at all of the notes in a major scale, and we can combine those notes to form chords, and all of those chords that use only those notes in that scale would be considered in the key of that scale. So we're talking today about C major. C major scale, the same scale, the major scale that we've been working on in the lesson. All of the chords in the key of C will only use notes from the C major scale. The chords in the key of C, there are 3 major chords. They are C, F, and G. And there are 3 minor chords, and they're D minor, E minor, and A minor. So anytime you see those chords together and no other chords, you're definitely in the key of C. You do occasionally in the real world find some
like
chords that are borrowed from other keys and popped in there.
Right,
We're not going to get into all of that sort of stuff just now. What I want you to do is to have a go at working out what the notes are in all of those chords and checking them with the scale that you've just learned. So if you think of our C major scale that we've been working on, and you imagined I'd left dots behind where all my fingers have just been. All of those dots are the dots that we would look at for our C major chords, the chords in the key of C. There's the C. All of these notes were contained there. D minor. Again, they're all contained. E minor. F. Again.
Wow, yeah, right. Of course.
G.
Damn.
A minor. There is actually another chord, B diminished or B minor 7 flat
B
5, but no one ever
diminished.
uses it, so I've just left it out for the purpose of this lesson. And then we're back to C.
B diminished.
So you can
I
see
wanna learn
all of
B-
the notes in all of those chords all come from the C.
Wait.
So you can see, so I've just left it out
B
for the purpose of
diminished.
this
That's very jazzy. I mean, of course it is diminished.
lesson. And then we're back to C. So you can see all of the notes in all of those chords all come from the C major scale. So they fit perfectly together. If you were going to improvise a solo, you could use the C major scale over any one or any combination of those chords from the key of C. Like, for example, Californication. If you were to improvise a solo on that, you could use the C major scale and it would sound fantastic. There are many, many songs that only use chords in the key that are really good fun to solo over. They're really good fun as learning vehicles for you to jam with your friends, where one person plays the chords, the other one plays the lead line. We're going to be getting more into that in the coming weeks. This week, I just wanted to sow the seed, the idea of this theory, this idea of chords in a key. If you happen to be a songwriter and you're interested in getting into songwriting, it's a very, very good place to start, is looking at the chords in the key, in this case in the key of C, and trying to put them together and have a listen to what they sound like. The more familiar you get with the sounds of the chords in the key, the more likely you are to recognize them. When you hear a song on the radio, when you hear a song on Spotify, you'll hear it go, oh, that sounds like that chord progression. You might be able to find it on the guitar more easily. So having an awareness of this idea of chords in the key and how the chords in the key relate to a major scale, which you should be able to see pretty clearly from the major scale lesson that we've done today, and learning where the notes are on the neck, which we've done a little bit of a look at as well. If you wanted to, you might be able to maybe write out what the notes are.
Holy shit, I just made something
That'd
so
be
fucking
kind of
cool.
an
What the
interesting exercise,
fuck?
wouldn't it? But I'll leave that one for you.
What the
If you want
fuck?
to
It
explore
sounds
more,
so
do go and check
fucking
out the
cool.
Music
Holy
Theory
shit.
site, Music Theory part of the website, I should say.
Oh my
And I'll see you
god.
with plenty more very soon. Take care of yourself.
Wait, see, the funny thing is, I know this, right? I know that a chord is just 3 notes in a key. I know that thing. I know that's a thing. But, like, I never really realized, like, the usage of it. No, by watching this particular video, I was like, wow, okay, that's pretty fucking profound. So D major is not in the C key because it doesn't hit, right? The the F sharp doesn't hit. It's got an F instead. Oh. Oh, I see. Dude, those are very complicated shit. But basically, this is an E major. This is an E minor. This is E, right? E. So it's E, E minor. E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, it is. Wait, no, this is D. That's a major, so that's a different story. But like, let's take a look at the notes, right? So this is the E. That's a B. That's a D. E, B, D. How do I approach this like this? E, B, E, so it's a power chord. Is it the G? No, it's not. No, it is a G. So E, B, G. So G sharp, which is that makes a major, right? I don't know why it takes so long here. I mean, I should have explained why this is an E minor. This is a D. So E to a D. DAB. It's not a B. So is it D minor? No, it's not. This is an F. Is it diminished? Or do I just not know what it is? I guess I just don't. Okay, maybe I don't jump into fucking Polyphia instantly after I learn a basic meaning of chords and keys. But yeah. I guess I still have more to learn, basically. I mean, obviously, but like. I fucked up. Damn, dude, improvisation. That's pretty sick, honestly. And of course, it diminish. God, the diminish at the A minor sounds so good. Fucking hell. So we just hit anything. So I can just hit anything. Oh my god, dude, what the fuck? That was some random shit. I was like doing it. Oh shit, that's kind of sick, honestly. What the fuck? See, like, that's all I need. Well, that's not all I need. I want more, but like, learning wise, that's all I need. That makes a lot of sense now. So you just keep finding chords, right? You're like, but you kind of want. Now I have to look at the circle of fifths. I want to know like, what works well with what. As in, like, what key should I play in and stuff like that. Wow, now it all makes sense now. Oh, wow. Of course. Of course. Of course. Alright, fuck it. Let's finish this. I'm having way too much fun with, like, improvisation. Damn. That's awesome. Fuck.
Hey,
no.
how you
Alright.
doing? It's practice schedule time
Warm
for
up
lesson
and
9.
songs, alright.
Slight little tweak here. I'm putting 5 minutes of song repertoire revision at the beginning of the routine. I think if you launch straight into trying to practice your F chord without having any warm up at all, that could be, potentially risking injury a bit. So I think 5 minutes of your song revision, making up your own songbook, pick one tune, pick a few bits of tunes, whatever it is that you want to do. It's free form, it's just experimenting and revising songs that are in your repertoire. That's for 5 minutes to start off with. Then you've got 2 minutes of attempting your F chord. So you're not aiming to be nailing your F chord, you're just attempting to have a go at it, trying to develop the muscles that you need to be able to do that, experimenting with the hand position, seeing how it feels comfortable for you, experimenting with the twist of the wrist, the pulling of the arm, all of those different factors until you find the way that it starts to feel comfortable. It's likely to take you a few weeks, but the sooner we get to it, the sooner you'll get comfortable with that chord. So it's 2 minutes. Then you've got 2 minutes of your F chord cheats practice. So just going through your F major 7, your F major 7 with the C bass, and your mini F chord. All 3 of them, you could focus on one day, or you could do a little bit of practice on each one. It's completely up to you. Again, I would let the song choices lead me in deciding which of those I was working on. And also, that comes through to the next 3 1-minute perfect fast changes exercise. Now, the ones that I've selected that I thought were going to be best, which you might like to follow, but feel free to change it if you wanted to. I've been doing the F major 7 with a C bass to C, mostly, just because they're really nice for You Can't Always Get What You Want by the Rolling Stones, which is a song there. It's a nice change to work on. Then I was doing F major 7 to G, just because it's a really big change. It gives me practice on that little F major 7. And the last one of the perfect fast changes, I was doing D to F, or F to D, I don't know which way you call it. The reason I picked that specific chord pairing is it's in The House of the Rising Sun, which is another song that I wanted to be working on. So you could change those perfect fast changes to other chord combinations that you need in the songs that you choose, but they would be the ones that I'd kind of seemed the most logical to me, and it meant that I was working on my F major 7 over C and my F major 7 and my mini F. I was working on all three of them. But you don't have to do that. You could just put all of your effort into playing the mini F or the F major 7. You know, you have to do a little bit of self-assessment here, work out what's going to be best for you.
Yeah.
We've then got 2 minutes of the C major scale, just all down picking, doing it nice and slow, focusing on accuracy, focusing on memorizing the pattern, not being in a rush. If you can get it to a metronome, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. We've got 2 minutes of the little finger exercise, remembering that the dexterity of the little finger is the point here, so if you accidentally hit some extra strings or whatever, it's not really a big deal. The main thing is the controlling movements of the little finger. That's the focus of your attention when you're practicing that. We've got 4 minutes on Californication riff, which has all kinds of benefits, like I've mentioned in the lesson, the picking out strings individually, the shape of the F chord, the bar, holding the first and third finger while moving the second finger. Loads of great technical stuff in the course of learning that riff. Really fantastic find was that riff for this particular lesson. And then we've got 10 minutes of song work where you can pick any of the songs that you want to be working on for this lesson. So I would pick 1 or 2 or 3 of them and focus on those. You can focus on just one and really give it everything you got, or you can have a few songs. That depends on your character type and what you enjoy, because you know it's really important that you're enjoying this stuff. So find the one and the way that works best for you. And the $1 million question: when to move on to the next lesson? What is the requisite for moving on? I know everyone's going to ask. So the F chord you should have had a go at, and maybe occasionally be getting an F chord that sounds okay. But that would be it. Occasionally, sometimes getting an F chord that kind of sounds okay. It's very loose there. I'm not expecting you to be able to play an F chord, okay? Nitsuj is able to get some F chords by the end of his practice sessions, but not everyone will be able to do that. Some people will get it right away, some people won't. So a little bit flexible there. I would like you to be able to play F major 7, F major 7 with a C bass, and mini F, to be able to play them so they sound good and you've memorized them. That would be an important part, so that's essential. C major scale should be memorized, and you should be able to play it up and down from memory. Okay, all down picking, no speed amount that speed that you have to get it to or anything like that. Just be able to play it up and down at whatever speed it is from memory. That's the key thing there. Little finger workout, there's no just have done it. You know, feel a little bit better with your little finger. That's the only limit there. Californication, again, the riffs are fun. There's always going to be other things going on when I teach you the riffs that are going to help, but the point of it is just to have fun. And with the songs, I would say at least one new song that is using the mini F chord would be the thing that I'd like you to add to your kind of repertoire, your rotating circle of songs that you're practicing regularly. Just because the mini F is actually pretty decent. Even if you can play big bar chord F, then practicing the mini one is not a bad idea at all. If you find F chord is really simple, you could jump in and just do a song that uses big F straight away. But I don't think that's going to be the case for many of you. Certainly wasn't for me. We're going to talk a little bit more about changing to F next lesson and the one after, because changing to it is a little bit more difficult than just playing it, as you'll probably find. I'm sure you're going to enjoy practicing all this stuff next week. Don't let the F chord get you down. If you're finding it really difficult, honestly, it's going to take most people quite a while to get that comfortable under the fingers. So don't feel disheartened at any point. Try and keep it fun. Find songs that you love, and I'll see you for plenty more lessons very soon. You'll take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
We ended with like another. What is it? Are You Mine? Arctic Monkey. But we should. Where's my pick? What the fuck? Okay. It's like, you know, an ending kind of thing. Or you can do Saul Goodman. You know, whatever floats your boat, they say. Let's go for it. I don't like that one. Okay, yeah, let's put a crunch, a little bit of crunch. All right, let's go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I fucked up. That's kind of shit. Okay, let's actually try to make a good one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, thanks for watching. That's it. Yeah, get out of the stream. Get out.